It's been a long week, right? Are you ready to wind down? Why not? It's time for the Wine Time Fridays podcast with Shelley and Phil. Neither are sommeliers, but both have a deep passion for life, each other, and of course, delicious wine. And now, here to talk about this week over a glass of wine is Shelley and Phil. It's wine time!
Hello and welcome to another episode of Wine Time Fridays with Shelley and Phil on this Friday, June 9, 2023, episode 164. Isn't there a Paul McCartney or Beatles tune, When I Turn 164?
Yeah, that's 100 years earlier.
Okay, or later. Anyway,
The song was 100 years
Shelley, you are ready to go. Happy Friday. It's wine time.
earlier. Happy Friday.
All right, week 2 of our Idaho Wine Month wines.
Mm-hmm.
And
Wines of Idaho.
yes, and actually we were going to only do wines from Cinder Wines tonight, but since, what day is that? World Verdejo, no. Rosé Day is
The 10th.
on the 10th. Yeah, so that's tomorrow.
Yep. So
Yeah.
you want to throw one in. So we
I
have
did.
3 bottles of wine.
We have 3 bottles, and we're going to go real fast, because not too fast, though. But we do have 3 bottles, no reception wine. Long story. We're not going to say anything, but
Wine we don't like.
this,
I don't like it.
yeah, I mean, it's okay for half a glass. We love that. So we're going to use the same, the one wine glass, the white one, for this Verdejo, as well as for the Rosé. So I'm not going to pour a lot.
That is. Oh, you're dividing it?
Yeah.
That's a lot. Okay.
And
This is from Cinder Wines.
yes, the first and second wines that we have will be from Cinder Wines.
No.
Yes, it is, actually. I have them in the wrong order.
The first and second wine?
The first and third wines.
You said first and second.
I have no idea what I'm doing. What I need is a glass of wine. This is a 2022 Cinder Verdejo, which that in and of itself is very cool.
Mm-hmm.
To health, wealth, and abundance, and gratitude, and romance, and
Peace on earth.
goodwill to men.
That's Christmas.
We can say, I thought you liked Christmas. And
So see how this is a little green? Verdejo is green.
kind of hard to show it without spilling it.
It is a little green. So Verdejo is typically from Spain, and it grows in dry, hot climates. So that is why it grows well in the Snake River Valley. Somebody's at the door.
And somebody didn't turn off their notifications on their phone.
Uh-huh.
But these things, did you sip yet?
No.
Oh, we should
Oh.
sip.
That's very nice. It's not as acidic as I thought it would be.
It's really delicious. Floral.
Well, I get fruity.
I'm getting floral. Before I forget, a Lucy update. Still wearing a diaper. Well, when we don't have guests, we can get a little bit more personal. But we have guests, we aren't as personal because we're really focusing on the guests, which we will for the next 3 weeks. But yeah, little Lucy, gosh, we leave, she's in bed, we come back, same bed. She's like, yeah, what's the point? What's the point of getting up? Okay, back to this lovely Verdejo. What else are you getting on this?
I'm getting peach. Peach on the nose and peach in the taste too.
It's really good. This is, by the way, a fantastic summer wine. We mentioned this. what, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, something like that, when we talked about off the beaten path white wines for summer that didn't include Sauvignon Blanc and Chardonnay. I don't even think we said Rosé. And there was one more that I didn't think Riesling. We didn't talk about Riesling.
You didn't.
But this was one of them, and it's just delicious. This is what I would call a quaffer.
Yeah.
A quaffer.
And oddly enough, in several places on the web, they suggest pairing this particular one with potatoes, so especially scalloped potatoes, which is good because there's a lot of potatoes in the Snake River Valley, I think, also.
So, Shelley,
Pocatello area, anyway.
I said floral, could be pear blossom, which is one of the, yep. And you said white, and you said peach, and they have white peach in the notes. So,
they say lime, but I don't really get the lime.
interesting. Flavors tilt more to lime, while the body is a nice medium texture with plenty of acid and balance. And you're not
I guess
getting,
if you taste just a little bit,
yeah.
there's some lime.
Some food pairings. Finally, we have a wine that is something we don't have a lot, with some interesting food pairings. What do we have for food pairings?
Seafood chowder, as long as it's a white sauce.
Mm-hmm.
Fish tacos. Sounds good.
We are going into this a little hungry.
Coho salmon, salmon on risotto, red gazpacho,
Red
shrimp scampi,
gazpacho.
tomato soup, tapas, any kind of shellfish, fish, or seafood would be good with this.
So I feel compelled to mention the wines we had last week from their wine project. We didn't get all of the results back from the most recent wine competition. The results are in.
And they did well.
They did pretty well. That Garnacha, Shelley, that we had, and we actually had we went to our neighbors, and Matt Sparkman loved that Garnacha, and Brenda really liked the dry Riesling. Well, that Garnacha got the best of show, the best red wine, the best Idaho wine, the best Grenache, as you remember, Garnacha and Grenache, same, a double gold medal. They were the #1 all-over wine at the Cascadia International Competition.
Nice.
I just really needed to say that. Now, let's talk a little bit more about some awards, because this Verdejo won gold medal at the Idaho Wine and Cider Competition. So, just this year, this exact wine, right? This 2022? It sure is. And so we are tasting an award winner. Yes. And so these wines are making inroads into the wine world. So we're going to take a quick break because we're trying like crazy to stay on time today. If we keep doing these 30 and 35-minute episodes, and Shelley's like, no, cut them down. So when we come back, we will get into a rosé from Lindsay Creek Vineyards. Welcome back to Wine Time Fridays with Shelley and Phil, episode 164. Ooh, the next time we take a break, Shelley, I want you to bring us back. That is the best thing. I just smile every time. It's the best. Idaho Wine Month, we're on week 2, part 2, however you want to do it. There are over 75 wineries and cideries in Idaho. And Shelley, you wanted to kind of talk a little bit about the winery a little bit more, about Cinder Wines.
Yeah. Cinder Wines is an urban winery. So they source their grapes, and they have an urban winery in, I think, Garden City. It's close to Boise. Yeah, Garden City. Just a few minutes from Boise. And their winemaker, she grew up in the Boise area, and her parents had big farms, so she was always big gardens, not farms. So she was always gardening and creating great foods from the garden, and with she and her brother. And she also skis. So then she went off to school, and she met her future husband, a rugby player.
Really?
Yep. So he is now a chemist, and she is now the winemaker. They both went to WSU, Washington State University.
Go Cougs.
Wazoo.
Wazoo.
Her name is Melanie Krause, I should say that. And her husband is Joe.
I'm going to go on a limb and say it's Joe Krause.
Maybe not.
Oh, really?
Probably.
Yeah, we had a Cinder Chardonnay last June
Yeah, we talked a
episode.
little bit about that.
Yep.
I remember talking about her background with the gardening and skiing.
That was episode 114 that we had their Chardonnay. So that was, it's kind of good. We are moving on to Lindsay Creek Vineyards Rosé, and we weren't going to do this. And at the last minute, I changed my mind because International Rosé Day is coming up really soon. It's
Okay.
also tomorrow. But you know what, Shelley? Rosé Day has
The
multiple.
Verdejo Day is also tomorrow, because originally you said Rosé Day was the 10th. So
No,
both the
they're both tomorrow, but also there's a Rosé Day on like on the 12th and then on the last Friday.
They throw in a lot
Yeah,
of
they have
Rosé
2 or
Days.
3. So
It's kind of like Donut Day. There's more than one Donut Day.
we had a donut day last Friday.
Yeah,
Um,
I didn't get any donuts.
we still can. I mean, I don't want the glare when I walk in the door with donuts.
I don't glare for donuts.
Oh, I did not know that. That's
They have to be good donuts. I'm not wasting calories and sugar on bad donuts.
we have a donut place here in Coeur d'Alene. It's called Gross Donuts because that's their last name. Ah,
Gone. So
let's
is the building.
toast their memory. This is a 2018 Lindsay Creek Vineyard Rosé of Syrah, 100% Syrah, by the way. $16.
11.8% alcohol.
I'm actually really curious about this because it's very rich and deep color that, to me, it looks like it's going to be sweet.
Strawberries.
Hashtag cheersing.
It's slightly effervescent. It doesn't have any bubbles, but I get effervescence in it. And it's not sweet.
It's still
Very
dancing
nice.
on my tongue, on the sides. It's dancing on my tongue. That's how I describe that. It's not like tart, but there's this, like you said, a little effervescent. We didn't look at the legs on that thing. Holy moly. We did not pour very much of this either, and so it's sometimes a little harder to see. But very rich in color, this thing is. We are actually going to have Lindsay Creek Vineyard on in 2 weeks with a guest, the winemaker and owner. And so
Art or Doug?
Art, yep, Art is going to be on with us. At least he's supposed to be. I'm going to be giving him a call very soon because we have a lot of moving parts in our schedule in the next couple weeks, and so we have to make sure it all works out, you know. So we're not going to talk a whole lot about this winery, and because we're going to talk about it down the road. But this is not Idaho fruit.
No.
This is fruit from Columbia Valley, if I'm not mistaken, which is in Washington. And a minimum 3 wines we'll be tasting with Art are all estate wines from Idaho.
Mm-hmm.
So that will be a lot of fun.
Let's have some tangerine.
Tangerine, really? This is really delicious.
It is. It looks sweeter than it is.
So we didn't say anything about the price of the Verdejo, $28 at the winery. Again, love to remind you, if you can't find, now Cinder is distributed here in North Idaho, but I don't know about the Verdejo. It very well could be. If it's not, talk to your retailer, your favorite one, and say, love to get that up here and have a taste. Or just go online and you will see in the tasting notes, as we try to do every week, a link to these wines that we try. Sometimes they're a little bit off vintage-wise, which might actually be that case for the Malbec. But, you know, it'll get you the idea. You'll get to their website. But this Rosé is Washington fruit. This is $16 at the winery.
And the wine, this is a more modern looking winery. They welcome guests there, and they can do weddings. They have an event, and they serve small bites and wines there too. So, what would we pair with the rosé?
Well, I like a lot of things. Tuna fish sandwich. It just came to mind.
I think that would be good.
I actually don't think. I think if it's very strong fish, I don't know if it would do all that well.
Oh.
But some cheeses.
Seafood.
Yeah.
Salmon always goes well with rosé.
Yeah, rosé is.
If you're picking cheeses, they would be your soft cheeses, more like a brie or a goat cheese, not like a cheddar.
Not a cheddar, but could you do a harder cheese, like a harder white cheese?
It's mostly cheddar, the harder ones. I don't know.
It seems like it would cut through that a little bit. I mean, tacos, I think would be great. We really are hungry. I would say beef tacos. Rosé is right behind in my book.
I didn't say beef tacos.
I would have this with beef tacos. It's Syrah, remember. It's going to be a little heavier Syrah. But rosé goes with many things. Kind of like a sparkling wine goes with many things. Not as many things as a sparkling wine. Probably not going to have this with a cheeseburger or a steak. But salad, oh yeah. Oh, a Capri salad. That would be great.
Yeah, that probably would be great.
Tomato, mozzarella, basil.
Balls.
That's what James Suckling says, basil. And a little sprig of, what's the little green sprig?
That's the basil.
Oh, that's the basil. Okay, so there we go. When we're going to kind of nurse this a little bit, we're going to take another break. When we come back, we actually have some fun things going because we pre-poured the next wine.
At the suggestion?
At the suggestion. That's right. They wanted an hour.
Decanting.
Yes, so we poured. It's going to be about 35 minutes, maybe 40 minutes. So not quite an hour, but we do have the wine in the bottle that we're going to pour in the glass as well. And we're going to compare those. So we'll have that comparison a little bit when we come back.
Welcome back to Wine Time Fridays, episode 164. Yay.
I just love it when you do that. It just makes me so happy and giddy. Shelley, Dora.
Easily amused.
I'm really easily amused. I'm still on my...
Dad jokes also.
Thank you. Take that as a compliment. I'm still on my little honeymoon period of being back and just like, what can I do for you, dear? I love you, honey. I'm trying to taper it down a little bit. Okay. How many AVAs? Oh, I asked this a couple nights of you a couple nights ago. How many AVAs there are in Idaho? You nailed it.
3.
Yep. There's Lewis-Clark Valley, not the Lewis and Clark Valley. It's Lewis-Clark Valley, Snake River Valley, which this Verdejo was Snake River Valley fruit. And then the Eagle Foothills. So,
have we ever had a wine from the Eagle Foothills?
you know,
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either. I guess we probably shouldn't, unless we know, say one way or another, but it doesn't sound familiar. I wonder if it's like Red Mountain, just this little thing.
I don't know. We have our book somewhere.
Oh, by the way, Kurt and Joy from Bottle Joy went to Red Mountain recently, brought us back a Cabernet Franc from
so
Kiona.
Nice.
So happy. That went on. We have a double opt-in wine shelf in our cellar, that both Shelley and I have to agree when we open one of those wines. What was that?
I have no clue.
Okay, let's get on.
Tortoises?
Oh yes, tortoises. And then I have some words for excited. Actually, that would be good to talk about now because I'm very enthusiastic to try this. Now, here are some words to replace excited, Shelley. You ready?
And the reason I said we need new words for excited, because everyone's always, especially in the webinar world, they're going to do a webinar. I'm so excited to bring you this new information. There had to be another word.
Well, I am super stimulated to show you. This is a 2020 Cinder Wines Malbec, $37 at the winery. And I just poured into the glass. And so I'm going to tell you a couple of these. You ready?
Okay.
Eager. Yeah.
That doesn't seem as good as excited.
Right. A number of these, if not most of them, are that way. Enthusiastic.
Say, I'm psyched out of my gourd or something like that. Some movie.
Well, there's Elf that he says,
Yeah,
this is psyching me out of my mind.
That's the one. Great Elf.
So funny. Well, you are an angry little man. Aroused.
Yeah.
I'm not aroused to taste this, by the way. Thrilled. Actually, thrilled would be good. It doesn't imply, excited kind of implies it's coming. Thrilled, maybe. Delighted. Galvanized. I just used stimulated, so I know it works. Supercharged to taste these side by side.
Okay.
Did you say psyched?
Sorry.
It's one of them. And pumped.
Heard that too. Probably from Grant Cardone.
Grant Cardone. Okay. So, here we go. Which one first? The one I just poured? Okay. The one I just poured. Oh, hashtag cheersing.
Cheersing. So out of the bottle.
It smells delicious. Oh, man.
Boysenberry.
Oh, my goodness.
That's really good. Also, I get cherry, like those cherry candies. What's that company? Makes fire sticks, watermelon sticks, cherry sticks. I get some of that, but not as tart.
This has got some depth and richness to it. I'm really excited. I'm sorry. I'm really pumped to try this other one. This has been now in the glass for 42 minutes.
And the winery says this one will, you could lie this down anywhere between 5 and 15 minutes.
Yeah. The one out of the bottle, I opened the bottle and then 2 or 3 minutes later poured this. So Shelley reached out to me and said, they suggest a 1 hour decanting. So I poured. Here we go. I'm not gonna.
Okay, but
that's mine, by the way.
This is mine?
That is. This one's mine. I actually liked it out of the bottle better. The one that had been in the glass for 45 minutes, I think is. I'm
It's
getting
less cherry.
Yeah, there's more tannins. That's kind of interesting.
Maybe it's cherry.
I'm getting more tannins. I don't think I mixed them up because I was very diligent about where I put the glass.
It's really good, though. Really good. So Cinder Winery is made for the volcanic cinder that's underneath the, well, it's in the soil, underneath the soil, and a lot of the places where they get their grapes from.
That's why I named this, featuring Cinder Wines, a volcanic affair.
Volcanic affair.
Yeah.
I had a cat named Cinder.
I had a dog named
Guess what
Volcanic
color it
Affair.
was? You did not.
The
What color
cat,
was my cat?
the cat was great. Charcoal.
Black.
Well, charcoal would be more appropriate.
Okay.
I think. Okay, so some of these wines I don't think we've actually said yet. Cinder wines from the Idaho Wine and Cider competition. The Syrah for Cinder got double gold medal, and at the Cascadia International competition, the Syrah got the double gold medal as well. Plus, their dry Riesling uh, got the double gold medal at the Cascadia International competition. So,
How about the Malbec?
on the Malbec, I don't know if they sent the Malbec there.
Oh.
Yeah, we don't know. By the way, to sift through all of these award winners isn't easy. At least the cascade, and another, by the way, I had reached out to one of the judges, the director of the Cascadia International Competition, Eric, and he said he was going to have results by the weekend before we recorded the Vera Wine Project, and he did not.
Okay.
So that's why we're coming back, because I really feel like it's important to note that Veer did really well. Cinder is right up there in the top of 5 wineries in Idaho wines. They are killing it, really, with some fantastic wines. This is $37. That Verdejo is 28. Those are really good numbers. And by the way, this wine is fantastic for $37. We have the social web wine word of the week. Leathery.
Leathery. That's not a difficult one.
No, but I mean, it is a descriptor, you know. It's a descriptor for wines that have flavors of leather, tobacco, and other aged materials. I don't know what those aged materials are. Leathery flavors are,
Cedar box?
well, it could be cedar box, but I think that actually it's a little sweeter, seemingly. I don't know. It's interesting. Leathery flavors are often due to the presence of tannins, which can soften and mellow over time. We are getting ready to wrap up today.
We haven't even talked about this Malbec.
Yeah, we did.
Rippin' nose, the mouth, cinnamon, cedar wood. That's why I mentioned that.
Thank you.
Light vanilla and blackberry. So definitely those dark black cherries and boysenberry. What would you pair this with? Grilled brats.
Oh, we need to do that.
Scalloped potatoes.
Oh my gosh.
Prime ribs, venison and other game meats, steak, fatty or fish-like salmon. I'm not sure I would pair this with this.
You know,
Maybe it's a bit-
that's really interesting. I think I might. It's probably as big as you'd want to. I'll bet this would go really well with the salmon. This is like a little heavier Pinot.
Maybe. And they say Spanish tapas, especially if it has chorizo in it. So that's good. And as on the charcuterie plates, you would do this with, thanks, Lucy, you would have this with aged cheddars, blue cheese especially, smoked Gouda, and for like a little sweeter cheese, maple smoked cheddar.
Yeah, that would be perfect.
Yeah.
Bacon would be good with this. A BLT with this wine.
Yeah,
Ooh,
I could see that.
I really am hungry.
That's cool. I don't know what we're making for dinner.
Oh, great. Some of the wines that we enjoyed this week. What? What are you saying? Why are you saying
And
that?
then that we didn't.
Well, we're not mentioning those.
Okay. Well, we have to be fair, so people don't buy it for it.
Okay. I'll do it then. Some wines we enjoyed this week. The F. Stephen Miller Angel's Reserve Red Angel. That was from Naked Wines. We had the Elsom's. What?
Okay.
It was fantastic. We actually, these 4 were really good. The last one, wines we didn't enjoy this week. We had Elsom Cellars Syrah, fantastic. The Pepoli Chianti Classico, it's an Antinori wine, and the J. Bookwalter Reader's Chardonnay. Again, one of the best value Chardonnays out there. Very good. Some of the wines we didn't enjoy this week. Shelley?
Was a Mercer Chardonnay. I don't know if it's over oaked. It's just
It's got a lot of oak.
really
And-
strong.
And this makes
And some people who like big oaky Chardonnays probably would like that one.
I was going to mention, sometimes they put so much oak on for that, plus it hides any deficiency within the wine.
Really? Is that why they do that?
Well,
I don't think that's why
yeah,
they use
it is. I mean, maybe not used to. The Rombauer is like very much over oaked.
It used to be. I think they've toned down the oak.
Yeah, because that's the style. People are less into this overly butter bomb popcorn. Popcorn sounds good too.
Let's have popcorn for dinner.
Next, we can do that. Next week, we're going to have Janet and CJ with Famici Wine Company. And, oh, they're right behind me, those wines. So that will be, well, on the stove that we're getting rid of. By the way, if you know of anybody who wants a antique stove, we have one for sale, and it's worth $5,000, but we'll get rid of it for half of that. $2,500. It is yours, or our best offer. So,
My dad found it in the woods. So.
is that right?
Yeah.
Wow.
And he hauled it all the way from Canada to California.
Oh my gosh.
He was a funny guy.
All right, we have to mention this. Cinder wines. We've done 2 of the 3 wines tonight are from Cinder Wines at Bottle Joy this coming Tuesday, the 13th. There's a Cinder tasting, Shelley.
Yeah.
It's from 5 to 8:30. Excuse me, from 5 to 8. $20. Now, it's $20 buy-in, but if you buy a bottle of Cinder wines, they waive that $20.
Yeah,
Minimum 1 bottle. That's pretty good.
that is good.
Yeah, and when you're down there, say hi to Kurt and Joy. Not in that order. Say hi to Joy and Kurt. Prosecco week starts on Sunday. Goes all the way through till the 16th, next Friday. And we love a good
there's
Prosecco.
not even a Prosecco in Idaho.
No.
Why?
I wonder why. Well, because it's, I don't know, a Spanish sparkler.
No,
What's the Italian sparkler?
Prosecco.
Oh, what's Spain? Cava. There we go. Hey, that's why we're a team. And coming up, International Drink Chenin Blanc Day is on the 16th. Lambrusco Day. We are going to get a Lambrusco, Shelley. We
We'll have
will.
pizza.
We are definitely getting a Lambrusco. That's on the 21st. International Rosé Day. I told you there are numerous. That's on the 23rd. And the first week of July is Sparkling Wine Week.
So that includes rosé, sparkler. And
Yeah,
then
we actually have.
Cava, Prosecco, champagne,
Yep.
and it's sparkling.
Any sparkling wine. We do actually have 3, 4, maybe 5 sparklers that have been slowly accumulating in our
It's a good thing it's a wine week, not a sparkling wine.
I know. I think we've hit everything. So, with a little bit of knowledge, and we hope we gave you some, wine becomes a lot less overwhelming. Thank you so much. Check us out on YouTube, where we probably don't sound as good as these great microphones. And we have a great weekend. We'll see you next week on Wine Time Fridays.
Thank you for spending part of your day to wind down with Shelley and Phil. Remember, you can listen to any episode of the Wine Time Fridays podcast by visiting winetimefridays.com or wherever you get your podcasts. And join us on our Wine Time Fridays Facebook page, Instagram, or on Twitter, which is @VintageTweets, for daily conversation. Until next week, here's our toast to you. To health, wealth, abundance, gratitude, peace on earth, and of course, romance.